Next, we have resolution authorizing the acceptance of a used ambulance by Mobile Life Support Services. Mobile Life Services is offering to give us a 2014 ambulance that they don't need. It is a 2014 Chevy Suburban EXT. And here, a resolution to accept the donation.
And we need to fill in a blank that was circulated with your draft. So that's the 2014 Chevy Suburban
EXT.
EXT,
Yes.
right.
Got
That's
that?
for Robin,
Wonderful.
in her minutes.
All right, is there a motion to accept the used ambulance?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Major?
Aye.
Trustee Cole?
Aye.
Trustee Israedi?
Aye.
Trustee Schneider?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Resolution's adopted. Thank you, Mobile Life. All right, number 5, resolution authorizing order of a temporary structure to be leased for the fire department apparatus and equipment storage. Under our insurance policy, our insurer is obligated to provide us with a temporary building in which we can house vehicles and equipment. As I said earlier, it's essentially a steel frame thing that gets put together. It's got a heavy fabric exterior, it's got heat, electricity, and we're not exactly sure yet where it's going, but we want to get authority to order the thing, and it's actually a rental, which has a base delivery cost and then a cost per month, and we're not sure how long we're going to need the temporary building. Obviously that depends on what happens with the proper building, but we are looking at a term of minimum of 1 year, correct? Is there a motion to authorize the order of the temporary structure?
So move.
Okay, that was Schneider, followed by Cole. Deputy Mayor Major?
Aye.
Trustee Cole?
Aye.
Trustee Israedi?
Aye.
Trustee Schneider?
Aye.
I also vote aye. Resolution is adopted. So we have a meeting Monday with this company to talk about various configurations, which will probably help us nail down the exact location where it's going to go.
So I said right?
Yes, okay, and the newest resolution we just talked about. This is our 6th item of business, establishing a date for a public hearing regarding temporary fire department improvements. And this is essentially the Monroe proceeding. Council, how does this sit against what we already have? Are we replacing that public hearing?
So we're replacing that notice essentially, because what we're doing is expanding the potential locations for those to occur. So we originally had published a notice to say, for purposes of locating a temporary building and temporary offices, we were considering using the St. Sylvia's parking lot and rectory. But we're now considering a number of options because we're not sure what's going to work. One of them is that St. Sylvia's space as well. One of them is the Katzbahn International Dance Center space. And a third one was Ralph's up on 9G. We're looking for places that are big enough and have road access. They're very limited places that can accommodate this because you have to accommodate heavy trucks, and also we have to accommodate the trucks that have to deliver the equipment to put the building up. And we also have to have electrical, as you noted earlier. So it's a tough thing. I mean, obviously we have a third potential location somewhere here on the campus if we can accommodate it.
Right. Thank you. So we'll be replacing the notice that we already have set up for the 31st. The public hearing is going to be the same time, but now it's going to include 3 locations instead of 1.
Right.
Right, and then I was just, wanted to confirm too about the square footage. That was,
So the square footage is, thank you, Robin. The square footage is 3,300 in this one, which we expanded. Now, you've had some further discussions about that. Is that adequate, given
Well,
the potential reconfiguration?
There's basically 2 different configurations we could go with. It all depends on the site.
Right.
If we have to put it on this campus, we might be able to do it where it's narrower and longer, and we would actually just double stack apparatus. The best scenario would be able to have 4 separate doors, in which case certain areas would work, whether it be Catspan, St. Sylvia's, or Ralph's. But in the event that we move here, depending on how the parking lot's configured and different areas we could put it, we might be better off making it longer and using 2 doors. We can work with either one. I mean, our main goal is to have something heated and vehicles undercovered and protected. But
So we are evaluating
it could change.
3,300 square feet, is that big enough? Regardless of, because
Which one was
3,300 square feet is based on 66 by 50, which was the
Correct.
original proposal.
Yep.
So if you reconfigure it, it sounds like you were talking about 70 by what?
70 by 30, which is 2,100
Which
square.
is smaller.
Right.
Right. There was, I believe it was long, give me those, what was it, 30? 30 wide, 70 deep.
Yeah, so that's good,
That's good.
yeah.
Yes.
All right, so it's gonna be
So
3,300
this
or
is,
smaller.
so this is okay the way that we redrafted it?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
Okay.
thank you, Robin. Good question.
With that discussion, is there a motion to establish a date for the public hearing regarding temporary fire department improvements? Second?
Second.
Ms. Major, followed by Cole. Deputy Mayor Major?
Aye.
Trustee Cole?
Aye.
Trustee Azrati?
Aye.
Schneider?
Aye.
And myself, aye. The resolution is adopted. And lastly, we want to do a motion about the voting location for the upcoming election. So obviously the firehouse where we've been having our voting take place for quite a while now is not going to be available. So we would like to be able to tell the Board of Elections that we can go back to the 3rd floor here at the Wasta-Peister Hall for the next election. Is there anything else I should say, Council, before I ask for a motion to that effect?
Appropriate?
Motion to that effect, someone.
So moved. Second.
Second, any discussion? As always, come out and exercise your right to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we can tell the Board of Elections that we've got a spot. Okay, that concludes our regular business. The next board meeting will be held Wednesday, August 21st at 7 p.m. Here at the historic Wasta-Peister Hall, preceded by a workshop at 6 p.m. We have a regular workshop on August 14th at 7 p.m. And so that you know, bless you, we also have scheduled from last time we met a special meeting on July 31st. So we're going to have that Monroe hearing. We scheduled a meeting, and not because we actually know what we're going to do yet, but we think having a meeting in place with how many variables are flying around right now is a good idea. You know, the decisions to recover from this fire are happening so quickly, and we always need the whole board to know what's going on and approve what we do. So we've got an extra meeting sort of in the calendar in case we need it, so we don't have to wait a whole month. All right, so those are our next 3 meetings. Moving on to committee reports. Trustee Azrati, please.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about water and sewer. This is my last, very good last well report. And it makes me a little sad, because it's actually kind of fun. Anyway, Ballock well has been offline. That's probably because it's going away. The night well has been pumping at yearly 11,000 gallons per day. The 2PW at sort of a larger range, but almost to 12,000 gallons per day towards the end of the month. The 5PW was off for almost a week during the month, but has been pumping at 10,000 gallons a day. And the Potts East wells have been pumping at about 18,000 gallons a day. This is interesting, the Woodmark wells, which had been ranging just above 22,000 gallons a day, are now back up to 28,000, which makes it a lot closer to what we had hoped they would pump all along. So we've done some cleaning out, and we've also had some rain. I don't know if you've noticed that. Which means that the water tower is, my gosh, it reached 170 feet towards the end of this month, which accounts for all that nice good water pressure that you have. And I added this up before. It's, any guesses? This is June. Can you
Rainfall?
remember back that far?
4.5.
No, 3 and 3/4.
You know, that's just about spot on, Emily.
That's
Wow.
2 months in a row.
That's impressive.
Sounds like new.
She knew she'd get it one of these days. And the water quality has met our expectations, and it doesn't look like there were any water main breaks in June. But that won't be our problem.
After that fire,
Did you have water?
they did. But
Okay.
there's always a water main afterwards, so it's surprising.
We were worried about it at the moment.
But that would have been in July. This is still June. So.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Trustee Israedi. Trustee Schneider, please.
The Village of Tivoli Justice Court Report for the month of June. Charges received totaled 7 and charges disposed totaled 46. $2,629 was collected and remitted to the state comptroller.
It looked like a lot of
Overnight parking
Yeah.
from last winter.
no, yeah, you
Still
got it.
working its way through the court.
You
Yeah.
got it.
All right, thank you, Trustee Snyder. Trustee Cole, please.
All right. We will have our next zoning review committee meeting. That will be next Wednesday evening here in Village Hall at 7 p.m. We'll be going over major, minor site reviews, putting some language around a new law for the village. So as always with any committee meeting, if any citizen wants to come and observe your village at work, feel free to come. The next planning board meeting is going to be Monday, the 22nd at 7 p.m. up on the 3rd floor. In terms of community events, I just want to thank everyone who participated in our Pride Parade. I think it was the first parade we had had in the village in a number of
Over a
years.
decade, I'd say.
Yeah, over a decade actually. Big thank you again to Hotel Tivoli in the Corner for underwriting that. There was 0 expense from the village for that parade. Big thank you to the fire department for letting your fire truck lead the way. We really appreciate that. And it was just a really lovely day. Thank you to everyone here and everyone watching at home who came. It was a true community event, and we were so excited about that. So thank you to everyone who supported that. I've reached out to the commander of the American Legion about meeting with him, finding out what are the needs at our Legion Hall. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. We have a lot going on, but hopefully in the next few weeks we'll get to sit down with him. Have also met with, we have a members business organization in Tivoli, Tivoli Merchants and Artists. They shared with me some of their ideas and project plans for 2019, and what I look forward to doing over the next month or so is actually sitting down and meeting with all of our business owners in Tivoli and residents and just seeing what we can do to continue to improve Tivoli for everyone. So that is our report. Join us for zoning review or planning board either next Wednesday or Monday.
Thank you, Trustee Cole. Deputy Mayor Major.
There is so much going on at the library that I have to just say, go to tivolilibrary.org for the full listing of events and programs. I have picked out one that I think looks particularly good. This is this Saturday actually, July 20th, from 11:30 to 1, and it's a fairy houses workshop. And so it's for young children to enjoy nature by building fairy houses or a small habitat using natural resources, and you learn about plants and wildlife and appreciate the natural environment. This is hosted by the Dutchess County Master Gardener Speakers Bureau. So it's for 5 and up, and if you have a small person under the age of 8, they need to be accompanied. Passes are available for Alana and the Mid-Hudson Children's Museum at the circulation desk. You can check those out. And if you are homebound, you can have books brought to you from the Red Hook Library by calling 758-3241. Historic Red Hook is continuing with the Gilson exhibit, which is open on Sundays and Tuesdays from 1 to 4, and that's in the new Cherry Street property, and it's really, if you have not gone yet, I would say run, don't walk. And if you go to historicredhook.org, there's a new website which has a lot of digital projects and oral histories and ongoing projects that you can check out, and it's really quite fascinating and a good way to, I don't know, sort of appreciate the community that we have now by delving into, you know, the evolution that made it what it is. So, Montgomery Place grounds are open, and there are regular mansion tours on Saturdays, 10:30, 11:30, 1:30, and 2:30 for a cost of $10. And Claremont is continuing with the Harmonies on the Hudson series, which is the next two events are July 18th and August 15th. Those are Thursday night, 6 o'clock. And it's nice to just take a picnic, sit by the river, hear a little music, and check out a lovely historic site. There's an event there that I am especially excited about, and I'm sure you will be too. It's Palatine Cooking Day, and it's Saturday, August 10th, 11 to 1, and you're invited to learn a little Palatine history and some 18th century German recipes, and it's an outdoor cooking event, so don't miss it. In terms of the environment, you know, it's the standard summer poison ivy and ticks, and the canoe launch is still out. So that's that. But Joel, let's bring our little friend up, shall we?
We've got one special thing. I don't know if anyone can do a good drum roll.
Yes. Here she is. Save the dates. Okay. October 11th to 13th. Tivoli commemorates Eleanor Roosevelt and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. A little press release here. The Village of Tivoli will commemorate the 70th anniversary of the adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights on October 11th through 13th with a weekend of events honoring the legacy of Eleanor Roosevelt. Join us for talks, exhibits, and the unveiling, officially, of the bronze bust of Eleanor Roosevelt designed by Czech sculptor Marie Seborova. Art for Amnesty founder Bill Shipsey commissioned a series of these sculptures in honor of the anniversary of the Universal Declaration to be placed in spots of significance to Eleanor Roosevelt. And to date, busts have been placed in France, Italy, the Netherlands, Slovenia, and at Columbia Law School in New York City. And Eleanor's close, lifelong association with the village makes Tivoli sort of the most obvious place to have one. So, in an address to the United Nations in 1958, Eleanor Roosevelt said, "Where, after all, do universal rights begin? In small places close to home, so close and so small that they cannot be seen on any map of the world. Yet they are the world of the individual person. The neighborhood he lives in, the school or college he attends, the factory, farm, or office where he works. Such are the places where every man, woman, and child seeks equal justice, equal opportunity, equal dignity without discrimination. Unless these rights have meaning there, they have little meaning anywhere. Without concerted citizen action to uphold them close to home, we shall look in vain for progress in the larger world." So,
Nicely done, Emily.
yeah.
So we've received this bus. It's come across the Atlantic. It's been in Tivoli for a couple weeks. We have a fabulous committee assembled who is tasked with doing an awful lot of things by October 12th, namely constructing an installation where this is going to go, and also planning a weekend of events and the ribbon cutting for the dedication. We are very grateful that our friends in the Vestry and Diocese of St. Paul's have offered a location just north of the stone wall there, close to Elizabeth. There's a little area with a mature 300-year-old oak tree. And we are going to recycle some of the blue stone that's around the village, and some of the stone that we saved that came off the bridge on Broadway that the county replaced 2 summers ago, and use that to create a little installation, a patio, a couple benches, a plinth, and Eleanor will be placed there with the plaque with a quote from the 1958 speech, And we're gonna get this all done by October 12th.
You guys done?
October 12th because it's the Saturday closest to October 11th, Eleanor Roosevelt's birthday.
Yeah.
So she will stay safely in the mayor's office until then, unless we bring her to every board meeting, I'm not sure.
I think that's not a bad idea,
She looks good up there.
right?
Yeah.
A little Eleanor goes, you know,
She
goes well
looks
with me.
comfortable.
Okay, thank you, Deputy Mayor Major. I just have a few announcements. We are getting very close to the 2019 Tivoli Children's Recreation Program. We are about at 30 registered children. We have room for 40, so we are keeping registration open past our advertised deadline, and we're just going to keep it open until it fills up. So children ages 5 to 12 are welcome, and you can pick up applications at the village clerk's office or find them on the website tivoliny.org. It's $25 per week for the first child and $15 for siblings if you're a Tivoli resident. And if you are not a Tivoli resident, it's $35 per week and $25 for siblings. It runs the first two, August 5th through 9th and 12th through 16th, 9 to 2 p.m. in the park. And I hope that we will get 10 more young folks to sign up for that. Also, if you haven't heard, there was a large solar farm, community solar farm coming to the town of Red Hook and the two villages. So I have here an announcement from Supervisor McKeon. We are excited to be taking a significant step in addressing the climate crisis right here in Red Hook with our new community solar array. We're working with a local company, they won the RFP, Sun Common, to install the project on Village of Red Hook land. It's going to create clean energy for our town and village buildings, and there's room for 250 individual homeowners to also sign up for this. A subscription to the project gives you clean energy credits on your electric bill at a reduced rate. So you get to be green, support a great community project, and save some money too. There is a solar Sun Carnival event this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Red Hook Village Hall parking lot. And there you can test drive a number of electric vehicles and also learn all about how to sign up for this community solar farm. This solar farm is going to cover all the electric needs of the 3 municipalities, all our buildings. So the town of Red Hook, Village of Red Hook, Village of Tivoli. And for Tivoli residents, that's something like $10,000 or $12,000 a year. That is going to give us some wiggle room in the budget going forward, which is going to help us keep taxes down. Your town taxes will see a similar, there's a little space back in the budget if all the municipalities don't have a central Hudson bill. So this is a big deal. And they're trying to incentivize people who maybe don't have the right roof, don't have room in their yard, or live someplace where you're not allowed, an apartment building, or if you own a condo, you can't put the solar array where you live. This way, you sign up at this community farm, you still get the benefit. So you can go to suncommon.redhook, suncommon.com/redhook, or look for this Sun Carnival event on Saturday, July 20th, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And lastly, I just want to announce we're getting closer to starting the, not lastly, I think I have a few more things. We just got the crosswalks repainted at the main intersection and Pine Street.
Great.
They look great. We are going to be starting the Pine Street improvement work, sidewalk, all along Pine Street to North Road, right at the end of July, maybe into the first week of August. We're getting closer to that. I believe Central Hudson is already, they have to relocate a pole or two, and I think they've already started doing some of that work. And then I forgot the third thing I was going to say, so it might come back. But for now, we'd like to open the floor to public comment on any topic. Mr. Walsh.
First off, I want to say bravo to our fire department, who not only had a fire in their house, but also obviously responded to multiple calls the following day. So, bravo guys. Now, a few items which I covered last time I was here. So, are there any plans at all to do any kind of blacktop work or patchwork in the development?
Yes.
Okay. Future, near future, distant future?
Patchwork and potholes, I know we have that road cut over by Madeline Court, and anything like that will happen this summer. And then the long-term plan for the roads, I mean, that's probably a couple of years out.
Okay.
But we're very aware that the roads
Or-
over there are deteriorating,
Okay.
for sure.
Are there any plans to repair or maintain the drainage system in the development?
So yes, we've talked about it. We've got a proposal from the engineer to do a whole evaluation. The price is pretty high to do that because it's so low. They actually use some, I don't know what the term is, laser sighting to do the pitch and that kind of thing.
Right, but
yes.
there's some simple things that obviously have been neglected for 35 years, such as cleaning out the catch basins. Do we know when they were done last?
I don't.
Okay. Have any of you on the board or the DPW even taken a look at the main drainage easement that drains that neighborhood
Yes.
and seen how clogged?
Yep.
And how much overgrowth is inside that?
We're working on
Because
that right
the
now.
night we had our major rainstorm, if that was a lot cleaner, it would have flowed out a lot better. There's some simple things that can be done. We don't need to re-engineer anything, just
Nope.
maintenance.
Cleaning that main
That's been neglected
drainage
for
swale.
years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And could you just tell me, Mr. Walsh, where you feel the potholes are most urgent?
The biggest one is on Green Tree Road right by Madeline Court.
Thank you.
How about the landscape feature on Madeline Court? I mean, there was a bunch of us there planting a tree, and it looks awful. I mean, that's obviously village property, right? Or am I wrong?
I don't think anyone knows whose property that is. I mean, the village, I and yourself and others have tried to. We've put in the daffodils and we've done the tree, needs some weeding and trimming, for sure.
Is that something our DPW would handle?
I think so, they're
Okay.
working on other things, but we'll put it on their list, for sure.
And how about where they ripped the trees out on the entrance to the park on Memorial Drive? They tore out shrubs. Right?
I'm sorry, I'm not locating myself.
Going into the park.
From Memorial
From
Drive.
Oh, yeah,
to
that we have a whole
Park.
plan for, so that's gonna get groomed, that's gonna be our next
Yeah, 'cause
daffodil
that's a
site.
mess. Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
They
We're gonna do-
ripped the shrubs out and just left it.
So here's the plan for that whole area. One, we're gonna, I'm drafting specs to have all the park paths re-asphalted. I'd like to make them a little wider, more, wheelchair access. So including that one coming in from Memorial. Then we, grade everything. That'll be our next autumnal daffodil blitz through there. And I've got a new, park rules sign, like a nice clean blue
For
one.
that.
For that end, so yeah, we got that stuff torn out. The recreation of that entrance hasn't happened, but it's very much in the
Okay.
works. Yeah.
That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Yes,
Refuge bags for lawn leaves and whatnot. I've had some out in front of my house for about 3 weeks now.
okay.
Are they gonna be picked up, or what's the story with that?
They're gonna be picked up, yeah.
Okay. If they do pick them up, they better pick them up from the bottom, because they're a little wet.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yep. Any other comments from the public?
Just a reminder that the 100-year anniversary celebration is coming.
That was it, that was the
That's
thing.
it.
Thank you, Tom.
There you go.
Here, I see I got August 17th, but I didn't scribble what I was supposed to say about it.
I was gonna draw it, but.
Yeah. So, thank you, Mr. Christie, President of the Tivoli Fire Department. Again, as I've been saying for a number of months, we're not going to do our regular Tivoli Community Day in early August because the big party coming up is the double centennial of the Village of Red Hook Fire Department and the Village of Tivoli Fire Department. And that is going to happen the weekend of August 17th. You've got some activities on the 16th.
16th as well.
Why don't you guys tell us what's going on? I know what weekend it is, but you might know more details.
Wanna go with me?
The 16th, we're doing, there'll be bounce houses and stuff over in Red Hook. There'll be music going on over by the firehouse. What else they got going on? Yeah.
So there's food vendors,
Yeah.
The food vendors what we did was brought in actually food trucks. So we didn't really have the manpower between both departments, so there'll be numerous different food trucks and there's probably anything you could
In the
even want.
parking lot there?
In the firehouse. Everything
Firehouse.
happens at the firehouse. There'll be a live band. I don't remember which one is Friday night, but there's also a live band on Saturday as well.
You guys pick the good bands,
So,
so I'm looking
yeah.
forward to this.
So it should be good. Saturday, the majority of the day, there's nothing. The parade lineup is 3:30, kicks off at 5. It's fairly long parade.
Because this is also the county convention and we've
It's-
got how
right.
many fire companies coming?
As
to
of
Red Hook?
now, there's 40.
40 fire companies coming.
Wow.
So, and the parade is, it'll be different than a Memorial Day parade. So it's just a firematic parade. So you're talking at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half of literally just fire companies. Almost probably every fire company will have its own band. We have Columbia Pipe and Drums, so we have our own band. Red Hook does as well. So it will be a very
What's the
impressive parade.
route, Mark?
Huh?
What route does it take?
So it's gonna take, lineup is gonna be in the junior high. I don't remember all the roads, but you come out and you are gonna go up Park Avenue by where we actually end for Memorial.
To Memorial Park.
Then you're gonna go past Memorial Park, go straight through the village, all the way
South.
down to Firehouse Lane. Make a left down Firehouse Lane. And what will happen is the parade actually breaks up at the firehouse. So all the public will go to Red Hook Firehouse. The firemen will just continue through, and there'll be food and drinks for those guys at the end of the parade. And then the fire trucks will basically part off. That parking, as of now, is either going to be in the rec park or the junior high. It depends on parking with construction at this point with the high
And
school.
are there tickets for these events?
It's all free.
Right, it's all
So
free.
this is all donation
We've raised money
driven?
for, we've been busting, besides the firehouse stuff the past 2 weeks, we've probably the last 8 months to almost a year, been working with, very closely with a group from Red Hook Fire Company as well as a tight group from Tivoli, and planning this, raising money, you know, some of the villages and the towns helped out with a lot of stuff, and then we raised money to help pay for everything else, so.
And
And
fireworks.
at the end of the night, there'll be fireworks,
Big fireworks.
big fireworks.
We raised a good amount of money, so it will be a very good fireworks display.
So the August 16th and 17th, all in the village of Red Hook.
Town of Red Hook.
Town of Red Hook
Well, I
Fire Company.
The celebration's in the village of Red Hook, right?
Yeah, I guess it's about town
Well,
village.
as far
Point
as
is, it's not in
It's
Tivoli.
village
I don't
property,
want
it's not in
anyone- I don't want anyone to come to Chile looking for the party.
No, not
No, it's in
We're
Red
gonna-
Hook. Red Hook Firehouse is all you need to know.
All right, and you know, so many people have been asking us, and since you two gentlemen are here, in the aftermath of this fire, what's the best way to help the fire company?
Our biggest thing, volunteer. We're always looking for more and more people. I mean, we're lucky enough, we've done a tremendous job. We've got a great group of guys over there and we seem to be growing. But like I tell everyone, there's a job for everybody. You don't need to be, you know, take all your time becoming an EMT. You don't have to go run into fires. There's so many other aspects of that department that we need volunteers for. We are getting busier and busier. Tivoli doesn't seem like it slows down anymore. So we can use all the help we can get. We are trying to raise funds. I mean, we're going to rebuild, but our intent is to try to get a little bit more room. Fire trucks aren't getting any smaller and the department's not getting any smaller. So we want to expand for the next 100 years to make sure we're set. And at this point, if we're going to do it, we do it right. But one of the biggest things, and I tell everybody, is volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. We could, you know, and we're probably one of the biggest, we are the biggest, and when it comes to village organizations, and like you said, whenever something happens in this village, we're here, 24/7. So,
Who should people contact if they were interested in volunteering, Mark?
well, normally I'd say come down every Monday night, but we're not going to be quite be there yet. So, Tommy or myself. Any other fireman in the department can also help you, but I'd say any given day, especially now, if you don't see me or Tommy in this village at this firehouse, it's a rare occasion. But you could catch any of us or see Robin. Robin's right in the village hall. She's in the department. She's, you know, definitely stepped up, taken classes, done stuff, and she's here every single day. We could probably even leave applications with her where she could hand out. But yeah, we're always looking for members.
And people who want to make any donation to your
So we have
company.
two different things right now. When it first happened, there was a huge outcry. My phone basically shut down with the amount of calls, but from all over the country. I mean, I was getting messages from Germany on what they could do. So with the help of an assistant chief, because we were so overwhelmed out of Claremont, we set up a GoFundMe. So for people that weren't local, that just felt like they wanted to do something, they could do that. Anybody local, if you want to send a check, it's P.O. Box 486, Tivoli, New York. We'll write to a P.O. Box. Tommy gets mail every other day, every week. And it's all set up in a separate account just for the firehouse expansion, repairs, whatever we need to make after this. Every single penny is dedicated to that we raise.
Who should checks be made out to if somebody feels like sending one in?
Tivoli Fire Department.
Thank you.
Tivoli Fire Company.
Tivoli Fire
So-
Company.
Yeah. We actually will launch tonight. We teamed up with a company that does custom t-shirts, and it says, it'll have our Maltese cross. It says Tivoli Fire Department. On the back it says Tivoli Strong, and on the bottom it is hashtag We Will Rebuild with our Maltese cross. Anybody, anywhere can go on. It is a basically a PayPal store. You order your shirt, what size you want. You can either have it shipped, but if you're local, what we will do is once the store closes, they'll all get delivered, and they can come pick them up at the firehouse. They don't have to pay shipping, or if we know, hand deliver, but they could also have them shipped. So we're trying to raise money that way as well, which we think will be should be very productive.
Great,
So.
great, thank you, Chief.
Yeah.
Trustees, I'd like you to join me in a standing ovation for our fire department.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a dramatic time to be turning.
Nobody was hurt in that, right?
Nobody was
No.
hurt.
Do we know the cause? Or is that
Cause is
still-
under investigation. It seems most likely it was an electrical component in one of the trucks. I just wanted to say, you know, turning 100 and getting ready to celebrate your centennial and having this happen, I know is very difficult for you and for all of us, but there's no question that's when you see just how deep and strong this fire department is in this village and this community. So we will have a lot to celebrate on the 17th for sure. Motion to adjourn?
Actually, can I add just
Sure.
one more thing? Yard sale day coming up on Saturday, July 27th, and cleanup day, Monday, August 12th.
Good call.
Just a
So
reminder.
if you buy things on yard sale day and then you realize 2 weeks later, you don't want to.
Nicely timed.
Yes.
Intentional.
Thank you, Trustee Schneider. Motion to adjourn?
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.
So when you want
Of course.